I'm striving to get rich. That's why I always went 2 years without buying shoes and fits. Things change now. My mom hearing me with my music and she look a little proud.
Yo, what's up, world? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another Chicago Bears preview, and the rivalry is here. We go off this week at home against the damn Green Bay Packers. Ugh. There's a lot to get into with this ball game. A lot of stuff that's been developing and going on with both sides, the Packers and the Bears. But before I get into that, make sure you guys leave this video a like. That does help this channel to grow. And make sure that you click the subscribe button and the notification bell so you will not miss a single video. Because I do these type of videos, Bear preview, Bear reaction, and other storylines throughout the NFL. I do those type of videos, so make sure you guys click that sub button and notification bell so you will not miss any other videos that I post. But let's get into the rivalry. Without further ado, let's dive into it. The Bears on the offensive side of the ball are dealing with a ton of knick-knack injuries, starting off with Justin Fields with his rib and knee injuries, but he's been practicing. Starting off with Darnell Mooney with his injuries as well. Then you also have Allen Robinson that's dealing with an ankle injury. And then to add on top of those injuries, when we have already David Montgomery out, Damian Williams unfortunately tests positive for COVID. Prayers out to Damian Williams. Hopefully he recovers well. But that adds another significant hole in this Bears running back position. And then to add on top of that, Ryan Nall is questionable as we speak right now. So we could just be left with running back active for this game, and that would be Khalil Herbert. So the Bears at the running back position are hurt a lot, dealing with wide receiver injuries to Robinson and Mooney already, the two top targets in this Bears offense, and quarterback one, Justin Fields, is dealing with his own injuries. I'm assuming that Robinson and Mooney are going to play, and it's already been said by Fields himself that he's going to play this week against those damn Packers. At the end of the day, the Bears healthy, I can see this offense being productive this week, especially against the Green Bay defense that's dealing with a lot of injuries of their own. As I look at things right now, they have Chauncey Rivers, Zadarius Smith, Jair Alexander, and also Will Redmond on IR for this Green Bay Packers defense. The Green Bay Packers defense has been a very solid defense so far this season, but with injuries to two of their top players in Zadarius Smith and one of the better corners in the game in Jair Alexander, I believe the Bears need to take advantage of those injuries. Kevin King has shown that he can blow coverage, but he's also out as well. The Packers are dealing with a ton of injuries on this defense. Now, they do have Kenny Clark up front, who's been very productive. They do have Preston Smith, who's still playing at a very good level. I think the injuries to this Packers defense, and I'm assuming the Bears are going to be completely healthy, and with laser calling the plays and designing the offense, the Bears have some holes to take advantage of those injuries with this Green Bay Packer defense. Now, the Bears' offensive line has struggled a bit in pass protection, and that is key because the Green Bay Packers like to get after the quarterback. So the Bears are going to have to be better on the offensive line of recognizing and also picking up some of those blitzes, which they have struggled for the most part of this season. Whether it's picking up the blitzes, whether it's recognizing the blitzes, or making protection changes and calls at the line of scrimmage, the Bears have to do better in the pass protecting game. Now, as far as the running game goes for the Bears, the losses of Damian Williams and David Montgomery hurt this offensive lot because both of those guys, when in the lineup, have been productive, and David Montgomery was starting to have a all-pro level, Pro Bowl level type of a season, and then Damian Williams and his spell back was being very productive as well. But with both of those guys out, especially in a game against the Green Bay offense, where the Bears need to really control the clock and limit Green Bay's opportunities on offense and win the time of possession game, which has been a successful part of this Bears offense in their win so far, is winning the time of possession and dominating up front in the running game. And with the injuries to David Montgomery and Damian Williams, I think that hurts a lot. Now, the Bears passing game has seen a bit of improvement. The pass protection has to be better, and I think Bill Lazor needs to call a little bit more of those bootleg type, a little bit more of those rollout type of plays to help move the pocket, especially with the offensive line that has been struggling in pass protection. And you're going up against the defense and the Green Bay Packers that really like to get after the cornerback. And on top of that, the Green Bay Packers are dealing with injuries to their secondary with Redmond, Alexander, and King, all three being out for this contest. And you're going to have Mooney, you're going to have Allen Robinson, you're going to have Demir Burr, which I think they need to take a little bit of advantage more of his speed. Marquise Goodwin as well. You need to activate more of your tight end position with Jimmy Graham and also Cole Kmet. And it's also a sad thing that Jimmy Graham has more veteran rest days than he does catches, which he has one catch on the year, and that was in week 1. So utilizing the tight ends a whole lot more will be very beneficial, especially with the injuries to the Green Bay Packers. And taking advantage of that secondary in the passing game will be extremely beneficial, especially when you have injuries to your top 2 running backs in this contest, to help win the time of possession, keep the ball moving, and keep that Green Bay Packer offense off of the field. Speaking of this Green Bay Packers offense, this offense has been absolutely clicking and has been on a better roll than in week 1 against New Orleans Saints, where it just looked absolutely god-awful, where they only put up 3 points. Aaron Rodgers is starting to play back to form, and we all know it as Bear fans. He's had the Bears number no matter what throughout the course of his career, no matter what defense the Bears have. Aaron Rodgers, for the most part, has had the Bears number. Let's just be 100% honest. Rodgers and Davante Adams have been looking absolutely amazing the past couple of weeks. Last week, Davante Adams had over 200 yards receiving against the Cincinnati Bengals, and those two are looking very, very formidable, just like they did last year in Aaron Rodgers' MVP season. And Aaron Jones has been a very, very productive running back out of the backfield. Not only just running the ball, but also him in the passing game as well. When you have Lazard, you have Randall Cobb back in Green Bay. Even though you have an injury to Elgton Jenkins up front for the Packers offensive line, this Packers offensive line has looked a ton better over the past couple of weeks with the running game. Now, as far as the Bears defensively, we have Khalil Mack that was dealing with some injuries. You have Eddie Jackson that's dealing with injuries. You have Akeem Hicks that is dealing with some injuries. So this Bears defense is just a tad bit banged up, but at the same token, the Bears still lead the league in sacks. The Bears have done an absolutely good job, and Sean Desai has been a very good defensive coordinator and has been very good at scheming up ways to get after the quarterback. Despite Aaron Rodgers, his escapability and his ability to make plays in the pocket, I still think that the Bears need to find ways to get pressure on him, to hide a secondary that's not necessarily the best, even though I think the Bears are probably going to have Jalen Johnson on Davante Adams more than anything. And Davante Adams' route running ability, I still will believe he will have a very successful game because his ability to run routes and win routes, and Green Bay's ability to get him open and to scheme different ways to get him open in this offense can still be successful for a Green Bay Packers team. Now, the Bears defensively, they have to do what they've been doing all season, except for week 1. They have to make sure that they find ways to get after Aaron Rodgers and pressure Aaron Rodgers. Now, it's going to be a little bit harder to make a Green Bay Packers team one-dimensional because, as the aforementioned Aaron Jones, the Green Bay Packers have been a very good running team when they need to run. Even though they are more of a pass-happy team, the Green Bay Packers have done a solid job at running the football. And the Bears need to be better against the run. The Bears need to be better against the run this week. They need to be better against the pass this week. They have to cover all angles, especially in a LaFleur offense that the Green Bay Packers have and has been a very successful offense. Now, Aaron Rodgers, of course, like I said, he's had the Bears number. Khalil Mack, Robert Quinn, and those guys have to show up. They have to make some pressure. I'm not saying that you're going to throw Aaron Rodgers off of his rhythm like they did at Derek Carr last week. In all ways, pressure helps. No matter what quarterback you're facing, having pressure helps. Now, of course, Aaron Rodgers can move, but I think the Bears have the speed and they have the scheme in order to not necessarily absolutely stop it, but they have the scheme to limit some of those plays that Aaron Rodgers creates on his legs, creates on the move. Now, the secondary for the Bears has to be better. Let's just face it, they have to be better, especially against Davante Adams, Lazard, and the way that this Green Bay Packers scheme their passing game. They have to be better because they like to do those crossing routes. They like to do those solo routes. They like to get receivers open, and the ability for the Green Bay Packers to also run the football. The Bears have to tackle. The Bears absolutely have to tackle in all facts of their defense. Roquan Smith is going to be flying over the field. Ogletree, I think, is going to be a big key with this Bears defense, and not only with just the running game and the passing game, with Robert Tonyan and the ways that they like to get him open as well. So the Bears, they just have to be on their P's and Q's against this Aaron Rodgers offense. Now, I don't think they're going to stop them, but they have to find ways to limit their productivity and limit their success. 3 keys to a Bears victory. 1, they have to win the time of possession. They have to win the time of possession in order to keep Aaron Rodgers and that Packers offense off of the field. The Bears have to manage the clock, they have to manage the time of possession, and they have to win it in order to score points and be productive and to keep Aaron Rodgers and that explosive Green Bay Packer offense off of the field. Key number 2 is the Bears have to pressure Aaron Rodgers. Now, we know Aaron Rodgers is not going to be thrown off his game. We know Aaron Rodgers is not one of those stationary quarterbacks and he can move. But I think the more pressure that you can create with Aaron Rodgers, the more different I think the Green Bay Packers offense looks. And I think him throwing on a move consistently and him being able to be out of the pocket consistently can necessarily stop it, but it can really hurt this Green Bay Packers offense. Pressure, pressure, pressure. Number 3, the Bears have to find a way to get the tight ends involved. The Bears have to find a way to get Cole Kmet and Jimmy Graham involved in this offense. Not only just blocking, you have to get your tight ends the football to open up your offense even more. Darnell Mooney and Allen Robinson, for the most part, have been the main pass catching and probably the only pass catching factors in this Bears offense so far this season. They have to get the tight end position involved more in this passing game in order to be more successful. It comes down to pick time. And with this game, I'm going to pick the Chicago Bears. I mean, duh. I am not going to pick the Green Bay Packers against the Bears ever in my life. And if you thought I was going to pick the Green Bay Packers, well,
that is blasphemous. That is blasphemous.
I mean, I know it's going to be a tough game for the Bears. I absolutely know it's going to be tough. Green Bay has always been tough. It's always been tough for the Bears. I just believe at some point you have to overcome the obstacle of Aaron Rodgers. You have to overcome it. And I think with Sean Desai-led defense and a Bill Lazor-called offense, I think the Bears can do it. I just think they can. I'm not going to pick the Packers ever. But with those two leading the offense and the defense, you have a quarterback in Justin Fields who is very dynamic. You have a defense that is more getting after the quarterback than you have in past years. I just think the way this Bears team is constructed and the way they've been playing the last 2 weeks, they can pull off a victory, especially at home. And the Bears are wearing those classic uniforms, and we don't lose in those uniforms. So I'm banking on that as well. So I'm going to roll with the Bears, and I am going to roll to a score of 21-17 Bears. But that is all I have. Make sure you guys leave this video a like. Comment your thoughts down below. Do you think the Bears have enough to pull off a victory, or do you think the Packers will actually win this game? Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. And as always, click that subscribe button and notification bell so you will not miss a video. But I am APW Sports signing out. Make sure you guys stay safe out there. Have a great and excellent day, and I'll catch you guys on the next vid. Peace.